Welcome to High Cap Fridays, where information becomes action and action expands capacity. Knowing this stuff is great, but putting it into practice, that's what actually changes things. I'm Michelle Grosser, trial attorney turned nervous system strategist, and every Friday here on High Capacity, I'm going to give you one nervous system tool and one high cap move to take into the week ahead. Something really short, really practical, and designed to be acted on. Let's jump in. Hey, it's Michelle here. Welcome to your High Cap Friday episode. We're going to talk about catching our stress responses in action, right? These are the things that we automatically do without even thinking anytime we're starting to feel stressed, overwhelmed, uncomfortable, frustrated, annoyed. Like, we don't choose these things. This is just what our nervous system has been patterned and conditioned to automatically do when something like that happens. So as I was preparing for this, I was thinking back last week. So my kids had their last day of school on Monday. But last week we were planning. So I guess let me backtrack for a second. On Mondays and Wednesdays, my kids go to school on campus. So they have a classroom and teachers and like a whole normal school thing. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we homeschool. So it's this really cool setup. We are loving it. We just finished our first year. Now, that means on Sundays and Tuesday nights, we're planning and preparing for the next morning for it to be a school campus day. So last week on Sunday night, I asked the girls, okay, what do you want for in your lunch tomorrow? Let's make sure we have everything. You guys can pack it tonight just to kind of set us up better in the mornings. And my daughter Amory, who's in third grade, she's just like, I want penne with red sauce as my main item in my school lunch. I'm like, cool, simple enough. So on Sunday, I ordered penne from, on Instacart from the grocery store. I got her red sauce. I got everything set up. I set it on the counter on Sunday night before I went to bed so that I wouldn't forget to start boiling the water and making it in the morning of the chaos, right? So Monday morning comes around. I do my morning thing and then I'm like, cool, I'm going to put a pot of water on the stove so it can heat up and start to boil when I run upstairs and just brush my teeth and start to get ready and get the girls up. And like I'm sure is similar in your homes, mornings, there's a lot going on, right? So I'm just trying to get ahead of it, doing the things that my future self is going to thank me for. And I do it. I go upstairs, I get ready, I get the girls up. I come back downstairs 15 minutes later and the water's boiling as it should be. But I see that Jeff has opened a a box of mac and cheese and dumped it into the water, and that's what's boiling. Okay. And rational me understands that y'all, this isn't a big deal. But before I had a single conscious thought about what was actually going on, right before I'd even processed, it's just a different noodle in the water. I can either use that or I can boil more water. It's not a big deal. But I felt it in my body, right? I was just frustrated. This is not what I had planned. My jaw clenched. I noticed that my shoulders kind of went up, my chest tightened, and my throat. And then the thoughts followed, right? So body first and then thoughts follow. I started to get critical. I can't believe he didn't ask before just dumping something in here. Didn't he see that I put the box of penne right on the counter next to this stove? Didn't he hear yesterday when Amory said she wanted penne for her lunch tomorrow, right? And I'm frustrated and the sharp words are kind of coming to mind and I'm feeling discouraged. And the whole thing is a fight response over a freaking noodle, right? And Jeff was trying to help. Can I just appreciate that? He was genuinely trying to help, but my nervous system did not care. So if you caught Tuesday's episode, we talked about fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and how those stress responses, they just fire automatically. They're existing, they're firing beneath our conscious awareness faster than we can even think or realize. We don't choose them. And for a lot of us, these automatic stress responses have been just running the show in a lot of ways we've never really had language for, right? So these are really similar to when I talk about our capacity patterns. If you haven't taken the capacity pattern quiz yet, go do it. It's in the show notes because we talk about your pattern a lot here on the show. But that's what does your body do when you're at capacity? In that moment, there was a lot going on. There was the morning stuff going on, trying to get everyone out the door. I had to get back quickly and be ready because I had meetings starting and coaching sessions right away. So like there was just a lot going on. And when that tiny little, turn happened in my mental plan of the day, I didn't choose to get so frustrated like that. That was my capacity pattern taking over, right? I tend to run our architect pattern. So I thrive on order and things happening in the sequence that I designed them for a reason. And the mac and cheese incident wasn't about the pasta, right? We all have things we can think back of and be like, yeah, that response was actually not about the thing that triggered it, right? It was way bigger than that, or it was way deeper than that, or that had been festering for a while. And it was just like, it became this disproportionate response to the stimulus because that was just triggered by a disruption that was happening way bigger than what I was seeing, right? So a small threat to my order, and then my nervous system immediately just mobilized to address it. And here's why I'm telling you this. That response in the moment for me, that was data. Okay? It wasn't evidence that I'm unreasonable, that I'm just irritable and annoyed, that I'm a difficult mom or wife, or like whatever story we kind of run with this stuff, right? It doesn't mean I was dramatic, that I always make a mountain out of a molehill. Like it's not proof I have. It's data. It's data. It's information about where my nervous system was at that morning. It was information about what my nervous system was trying to protect and accomplish, and which direction my nervous system tends to default when, especially for me as an architect, when something disrupts my plan. And the moment that we can start to see our stress responses clearly enough to have like a little bit of separation where we can just name it, right? Like, yeah, in the moment, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, now maybe she's not going to want this and it becomes a whole thing in the morning, or I'm going to have to start to boil water again and I was supposed to start making eggs for breakfast. Like, whatever it is, you create enough space there where you can just name it. Oh, this is just my nervous system, right? In the architect pattern again, or that's a fight response, or that's just a flight response, or this is me freezing right now because of what's going on. When we can name it, something shifts and we create space. We create a gap. It might be really small at first, but it's real. And it's just this sliver of space between what just happened, right? Wrong noodles going in the water, and what I do next. And in that gap, you guys, that's where choice lives. That's where we get to intentionally choose how we're going to respond instead of just automatically reacting whatever our pattern's bringing up. And that's really the work. Like, I am so focused on expanding that gap. Like, what kinds of things do I need to do and say and remind myself of and practice in order for me to be able to grow the gap between stimulus and response? And the first thing is that you just can't interrupt a pattern you don't even realize is happening, right? So naming it, growing an awareness of when it happens, what's triggering it, what shows up in your body, what are the thoughts that follow? Those are the first steps of capacity expansion. It's not just a nice idea. Like, this is literally how neurological change actually begins. So let's get to your high cap move of the week. Super simple this week. It's observational. You're just going to start to catch your stress response in action. Okay. You don't do this all day long. If you can just catch it once or twice and start to notice like, I'm feeling this way in my body, right? These are the emotions that are coming up. These are the thoughts that are coming. Okay. What's going on here? Am I in a fight mode? Am I in flight? Am I in a freeze mode and I'm so overwhelmed I'm just procrastinating? Am I in a fawn mode and I'm saying yes and overcommitting and people pleasing? Catch it. When the pressure hits, right? When something disrupts your plan, like what happened to me in those noodles, when someone says something that is like inappropriate or uncalled for, or for whatever reason, it kind of activates you. When, the kids are fighting or you're not getting a response or whatever it is, pause. And can you just notice what's happening in your body before you do anything else? Which direction is your nervous system moving in? Is it moving upward toward higher activation, right? Fight or flight, mobilizing energy. So are you feeling a tendency to like clench or snap or just kind of going into motion, or you're rushing, you feel this urgency, wanting to control, needing to move? If so, that's your system mobilizing toward a threat, right? You're activated. your body is wanting to move, fight, or run. Okay? Fight or flight. Either way, it's movement. Or do you tend to notice your nervous system is moving in a downward direction? Freeze, fawn, more of a shutdown response. Okay. Maybe that looks like you start to notice that you're feeling really foggy or blank, or you're starting to dissociate. It's hard to focus. You notice yourself kind of withdrawing or shrinking back. Or if it's more of a fawn response, maybe you're over explaining, or you're being overly accommodating, or you're apologizing for stuff you shouldn't be apologizing for. That's your system pulling back. Okay. So notice I'm activated. I feel it. I feel the emotions coming up. What direction is my nervous system moving in it? Is it moving toward mobilization and I want to fix something or do something or snap? Or is it moving downward toward a shutdown response? Name it out loud if you can, right? Even if you're just whispering to yourself, like, okay, this is just my fight response, right? Or I just went into flight. Okay, this is fawn. I'm just people pleasing right now. That's it. That's the whole move. You don't have to fix it this week. You don't have to regulate perfectly in the moment. You don't have to expand your capacity. Catch it. Can you catch it and name it once this week? And here's what happens when you start to do that is that the pattern starts to lose its grip on its like automation, if that even makes sense. Like the speed with which it shows up, right? How automatically it just comes online anytime you start to feel activated. When you start to notice it and name it, that pattern loses a little bit of its grip. So your brain starts to build new neural pathways, right? Neural pathways that maybe have a pause in there. Maybe have a breath of awareness between you automatically. Like it would have been so easy for me to see that water boiling, see the wrong noodles in it, and been like, bro, what are you doing? To my husband. Like, what are you doing? You messed us all up. You ruined the morning. Like, now I'm going to have to start a whole new pot of water. It's going to take 20 minutes. We're going to be behind up, whatever. It would have been so easy for me to do that. But because I've started to get into the practice of noticing when I'm being thrust into a stress response, naming it, realizing what's going on, over time, that pause, that gap between the stimulus and my response has gotten wider. And my prayer is that it continues to do so. Because then I get to choose how I want to respond, right? And that's capacity expansion in practice, in the wild, in real time. And it starts with one mac and cheese moment at a time. So that's the high cut move of the day. Go start to notice when those automatic responses are coming up, name them, and then see if you can start to grow that gap between that happening and then how you choose to respond. All right. And then another thing I want to tell you about. 2 weeks from today is June 3rd. Well, kind of less than 2 weeks, a week and a half. June 3rd, if you're listening in real time. If you want to take the things that we've been talking about these last few weeks about capacity expansion and the 5 areas of capacity, and you want to make it really personal to you, sign up for the capacity audit. That's where it's going to happen. I'm hosting it. It's a free live workshop. I'm doing it on June 3rd. We're going to do it over the lunch hour here in Central Time at noon. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through basically a guided self-assessment across all 5 capacity areas. So you're going to take a look in your own life. I'm going to have a worksheet for you of your stress capacity. So how are you handling things that feel stressful and overwhelming? Your emotional capacity, right? How are you handling your capacity to be with, frankly, things that are uncomfortable, right? Your physical and energetic capacity, your relational capacity, and your joy capacity. And I'm going to walk you through in real time that kind of audit. And then we're going to interpret what's showing up. Like, where is your capacity really small, right? Where do you have opportunity to grow your capacity? Where do you feel really spacious and you have a ton of capacity? And once we have that data, I'm going to go through and give you really specific practical tools that you can start to put into place to start expanding your capacity in that particular area where your body, your nervous system needs it the most. Okay. So it's not going to be like a big information session. I'm not going into like theory and teaching and, homework and all this stuff. I'm making this really practical for you guys. Let's see where you need to expand your capacity. And then I'm going to give you a couple handles you can start to put into place because what I'm noticing with a lot of the women that come through my programs and that I coach one-on-one, either in a group capacity or one-on-one, is that they're spinning their wheels because you're working really, really hard, but you're working on the wrong thing, right? So you're so focused on like, how do I optimize productivity? But the real issue is actually your stress response, or you're focused on how am I managing my schedule when the upstream variable is actually your emotional capacity. So this audit is going to help you see in real time where you exactly need to put all of your intention and attention and your focus and your energy exactly where your highest leverage move is to actually move the needle for how life feels for you in the day to day. So it's in a week and a half. It's on June 3rd. It's free. I am going to record it and there will be a replay. So if for whatever reason you can't attend live, you can always catch the replay. Just make sure to register. The link is in the show notes below, or you can head over to michellegrosser.com/audit. Get your name in there so you can get the link to Zoom and join us on June 3rd for that live capacity audit. All right, y'all. Love you so much. Have a good one. Thanks so much for listening today. If you haven't taken the What's Your Capacity Pattern quiz yet, it tells you which of the 5 capacity patterns is driving your exhaustion, your reactions, and your stress. So you know exactly where to focus your energy first. It's free. It takes 2 or 3 minutes. The link is in the show notes. And then come back on Tuesday for a full episode where we go deeper on the nervous system science and the tools behind everything we've been building. I'll see you on Tuesday.